So hey guys, let's talk about the introduction of respiratory system. So there are 23 generations of respiratory tree. Okay, respiratory tree is like this. There are many generations. There comes the lungs, two lungs. Okay, so the most important part is the trachea is the zeroth generation. So the generations will start from 0, 1, 2 like this. So there are 23 generations in total. Now the further divisions will give to new generations. So let's talk about the first 7 generations features. What are the features of first 7 generations? Okay, the features includes that the first 7 generations are cartilaginous, non-compressible. Okay, cartilaginous, non-compressible. Now let's come to the last 16 generations features. Okay, there are 23 generations, 7 plus 16 is 23. So the last 16 generations features are they are non-cartilaginous. Okay, they are compressible, whereas here it's opposite. So you can see guys, and the most important thing is the last 2 point, that it contains thin layer of smooth muscles and some neuroendocrine cells. This is the most important part. Okay, now let's come to the next part. So again, important thing, the first 16 generations is called the conducting zone, that is the dead space. Okay, so dead space is the air which is not used in respiration or some the dead space comprises anatomical dead space, physiological dead space. We would come to know later, I would teach it later. Okay, so the last 7 generations is called a respiratory zone, where the respiration takes place. Okay, and here respiration does not take place. That's the most important thing you have to remember guys. Okay, so now let's come to the next part. So now let's come to the next part, that what are Clara cells. So what are Clara cells? Okay, so these are present in the middle and lower generation, that is after 15th generations approx. Okay, these synthesizes the surfactant like materials. So guys, what is surfactant? So it lowers down the surface tension. Okay, so that the alveoli does not blast. Okay, you would come to know it later when I will teach you the physiology, how it works. Okay, and again the important part, the surfactant. Okay, the surfactant synthesizes, okay, begins by 20 weeks of gestation, and the surfactant begins to appear by 28 to 32 weeks of generation. So it begins synthesis by 20 weeks in gestation, and it begins to appear by 28 to 32 weeks of gestation. Okay, so now let's come to the next part. The last 6 generations is also called the Achilles heel of respiratory system, and its feature is that its mucociliary clearance is the weakest. So last 6 generations is called the Achilles heel of respiratory system, also refers to. Okay, and the feature is that mucociliary clearance is weakest. So hope guys you all have understood this. So we would meet in the next video and talk about some more parts. Okay, thank you guys.